Flying solo, what's going on, everybody? Live before lock on just the loveliest of lovely slates. Not a ton has changed since this morning outside of Dennis Smith Jr. being out. We're going to break it down, though. We've got 55 minutes to figure it out. So let's do just that. Off the jump, it says promo code NBA strategy. You can use that, get 7-day free trial, any package you want, including packages with Fantasy Cruncher. You could also use the code live before lock, one big word. We also have 24 days of giveaways going on right now. You can like this video, which would be pretty dope, and then comment when it's over. And if you do that, you have the opportunity to win a 1-month free trial, premium, all access. You get it all. And it's another entry into our final giveaway, which will be Christmas Day with me, sometime in the 11 to 12 o'clock neighborhood on Christmas Day, where we'll be giving away a free 1-year premium all access subscription. So, now that we've got this out of the way, here we go. Gotta do it. Gotta talk about this slate. It's bowling shoe ugly. This is some old Jim Ross. Not a lot to talk about in the Miami-Houston game from a news perspective right now. We're still waiting on Justice Winslow, which is not awesome when you know that they're already down one ball handler. Him going out will really change the scope of the Heat team tonight. I don't know what to like here. Outside of Kelly Olynyk, which, you know, if Houston's clicking, I feel like they play him right off the floor. So I'm not even confident in the things that I'm confident in. Not a great place to be. Got to keep that eye on Winslow. If Winslow's out, that opens up a ton of potential minutes for Derek Jones. You know, Dwayne Wade as a primary ball handler becomes a thing. The only good news of Justice Winslow being out is that, like, it doesn't really touch Bam, Kelly, and Hassan Whiteside. That's really the only good part of this. You can keep looking there. I'll have a lot of Miami. They're making up a decent chunk of my projected ownership right now. Not playing a ton. Some single entries and some old tickets. This is not the slate to deep dive into. Ooh, shout out, deep dive. It's the second time I've done that today. This is not the slate to go crazy. It just really isn't. Donovan Stockton says, in place of playing DFS tonight, I'm burning my hair. It's not the worst strategy in the world. If you were looking for a haircut, you'll probably come out positive. Just, you know, don't burn your scalp. That's not an endorsement to burn your hair, just FYI. Gonna interact with the chat for most of this. There's not a ton to really break down. Houston side is kind of a no-brainer. Just like we talked about earlier, Harden is very important today. He holds an upside unlike any other player on the slate. Let's see what I have that at, actually. Outside of knowing that Hassan Whiteside got a ton of minutes, I think Harden's upside is like 10 to 15 points higher than anyone else. So sometimes you need to lock that in. Now, I'm not saying that James Harden is a lock. That is not how this works. If I were playing 150 lineups tonight, I would not have James Harden in 150 of them. Because you end up, maybe James Harden gets the poops like AD, and all of a sudden, well, he doesn't come back in and still go for 2.3 fantasy points. But he's pretty essential here. And your alternatives are like hoping Avery Bradley has a pulse, or, you know, it's Harden and Luka. They're going to be a fairly popular combination, if they can be, with a lot of pay downs elsewhere. It's just gross, guys. It's just really gross. I don't know. I like Harden, Capella, Paul, Gordon. Oddly enough, I think I like Chris Paul more than I like anything else in this game. He's still at like a fantasy point per minute over the last 30. I don't have a ton of worry about the Heat other than the fact that this is just a slow game. Houston's been rolling, so I like having big pieces of Houston. DJ Ramen? I hope it's Ramen. CP3 a must play given the point guard options. There's no such thing as a must play on this slate. But every decision you make changes your decision tree. So wherever you start, as soon as you make a decision, you're immediately taking yourself out of some sort of option elsewhere. You can only pay up in so many spots. There are 6 guys above 8K on FanDuel tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4 on DraftKings. You can only grab so many of them. You got to start somewhere. I'm assuming that I'll have, 50+% of Harden, obviously. I wouldn't be shocked if I come in under that 67% number that we've got going right now. Does make me a little nervous, but at 12-4, I'd rather just get a little different. Chat is all over the place. It's incredible. One person says this guy's a lock. Next person says that guy's a lock. The other person's telling the other person they're dumb. It's fantastic. Look, if you've got your finger on the pulse of this slate, good for you. Let me know what that pulse is right now. We don't have to talk about it in depth up until lock. Then let me know how that pulse felt tomorrow. Let me know if you're dead. Sass Crib in our premium Slack says, how would you best guess the Miami Bigs minutes? The top 3 home performers for Miami are all their front court guys. Yeah, so, well, Sass Crib, that's a question you shouldn't even be asking because all of that information is posted on my projections page on the website. And since you're in our premium Slack, you can access that. But I'm happy to talk about it because we have 48 more minutes and shit. What else am I going to do? So I've got Olynyk at 26. I've got Bam Adebayo at 26. I've got Hassan Whiteside at 24. And honestly, Bam and Kelly are going to be relatively close to each other. I think playing the Rockets does keep that up in the air a little bit, but it's not so much. It's hard to have this answer just because of the way my mind works and the way that I, build lineups. Even it's not so much that the the minutes are not a hard cap, but it's the variance in their minutes that you're really after. It's not really that important if I have Hassan Whiteside at like 24 or 26. It's that you're preparing for the scenarios where he plays 24 or 30, or the scenarios where Kelly Olynyk plays 26 or 10. Like, those are the things that are super weird. These guys are all, they all have the ability to be around this spot, but to do well in a GPP on a day like today, getting the variance in playing time correctly is almost more important than anything else. So, I prefer Kelly Olynyk to any other big on Miami. Bam would be second. Hassan Whiteside would be third. I think that Whiteside ends up over-owned on FanDuel because of his ceiling, which makes sense to me. I'd rather be on the opposite side of that. So I've got a lot more Clint Capella, and I'm going to... Here we go. So I'm going to keep my fingers super crossed, as I have in the past week or two. And I'm going to have a pretty solid amount of DeAndre Jordan. And at 10 o'clock, when the news comes out that he's out, just know that I hate life. It'll be fun. Bradley, I'm glad you were one of the originals from back in the day. It was a good time back then. It's an even better time now. Get to work with a ton of awesome individuals at Awesomeo. See what I did there? You can't beat it. Life is good. Fuck ownership on a 2-game slate. Really? Come on, man. Okay. That's fair. You can do that. I greatly prefer Clint Capella and DeAndre Jordan. I'm not super concerned that DeAndre Jordan sits. I've said that before and the person has sat. But at some point in time, you need to play somebody. It's not the worst slate ever. At least the game, at least the teams are okay. This could be a lot worse. Drum for 3, which is super fun to say. Do you think Winslow plays? If he does or doesn't, who would that affect? So that's one that I don't really like taking guesses on. Who knows? If he plays, I'm not super worried about the effect because I am projecting him in. So for me, it's all about what happens if Justice Winslow sits. And I'd say that Dwayne Wade is probably one of the bigger benefactors. Tyler Johnson almost assuredly has to get more minutes. And then it probably goes to like Rodney Magruder and Derek Jones. I think that James Johnson, Bam, Kelly, and Hassan Whiteside soak up everything at the 4 and 5. Spencer Smith, is Engelman stoned? I'm not. I promise. Not yet, at least. I am tired, though. Not a lot of sleep these past 2 days. Lots of work, catching up on things from being out of town for 3 or 4 days. There we go. Tom in the chat coming in for a very key piece of news. Small slates are where ownership is the most important. Shitty guys are never going to be in the winning lineup on a large slate, but they're all the time in small slates. Yeah, that's basically it. Look, I'm not trying to min cash a tournament tonight. That's basically where I'm at. There's no... What's the point then? I'm not shooting for the cash line. The risk is my main tenet for tonight. Look, you guys should be happy. If I'm playing DeAndre Jordan and that eats shit, you guys are better off. Everyone benefits from that. It's not an advocation. I'm not telling you to play DeAndre Jordan. I'm just telling you that I'm playing DeAndre Jordan. Makad, I'm playing 9 lineups, I believe, as of right now. We'll see if, anything interesting is going on. I'm not throwing a lot of volume into this. This is craziness. If this were not my job, I would not be playing DFS tonight. Let's be clear here. Alrighty, well, we can... Where did that go? How delayed is my chat? Or not delayed? God, I'm seeing stuff everywhere. I don't know. Vibe says, you heard Tom, Brandon Knight for all the monies. Yeah, you're going to need a time machine for Brandon Knight. But if he does go off, that'll be a fun soundbite. Just another horror podcast. That's a good point now. Just set up a lineup where you can move DJ out and replace him with Powell. Have to switch another roster spot. Hooray for that new fantasy cruncher tool. I completely agree. Hooray for that new fantasy cruncher tool. If you're playing DraftKings, leave yourself out tonight. If you have DeAndre Jordan in a lineup tonight, please make sure that you have the ability to switch out and make quality changes. Pay attention to that stuff. Yeah, that's a good quote from Sascrib. Carlisle said Jordan was sick in Denver also, and he played Tuesday. I have to imagine he'd like to play in Los Angeles. Feels weird. I don't know. What do you think about guys setting up different accounts, getting in single entries multiple times? I mean, no, I doubt anybody's pro that. I would prefer it to run correctly. There's basically no way to police that, so I don't know. Does Osimo pay your entry fees? I wish. It'd be nice. Alex, if you're listening, don't be afraid. If you ever want to pay my entry fees, I'm happy to let you stake me. Let's talk Clippers and Mavs. Clippers. Tobias Harris. Montrezl Harrell is a guy that I cannot get away from tonight. And that's the scary part. That's sort of who I'm more interested in if DeAndre Jordan doesn't play. Because if DeAndre Jordan doesn't play, it's not as if I guess Boban becomes feasible. There not really any bodies left on Dallas for that, but it's not like Gortat's going to suddenly see 30 minutes because he's going to eat up on Dallas. Becomes a really nice spot for Harrell. So Harrell's a guy I'm on. I'm just kind of balancing the Tobias Harris, Danilo Gallinari stuff. I don't really have a very specific place to play between the two. They're a coin flip for me. Chat's moving so fast on the solo one that I can't even keep up. This is fun. First stream I did last year, I had 40 people in it. There's 956 of you crazies in here. I love it. I love it. I've done everything I can to nerf Avery Bradley today and still keep getting him. That's what shooting guard is like tonight, which is making me sad would be an understatement. I'm just happy we got the Dennis Smith news early enough and that we can just go about our day. Because I loved the idea of playing him, and he's the guy that I really would have been overexposed to if he was on the fence up until 8 o'clock. My luck would... we just need to get lucky and get Clippers Mavs news in the next 38 minutes, really. Bathroom basement music time. I was here when this was Josh Engelman YouTube channel. I'd say the good old days, but these are the good old days now. I'm living in the good old days. Word, you said. Harrell might be 60% owned with DJ News and Capella price. We have him quite a bit lower than that right now. So that is my basis. Who gets the bumps with DSJ out? So Luka obviously becomes a more interesting tournament play than he normally is because he's going to be significantly more involved in the... Everybody just freak out? Is that real? There it is. Justice Winslow out. Lineup note. Tyler Johnson, Josh Richardson, Rodney Magruder, James Johnson, Hassan Whiteside. At least we got something, baby. There we go. Let's go ahead and get this updated. Congrats, chat. I think the news got through. Be surprised. There's the moment when 38 active people are messaging Winslow out at the exact same time. You guys are dope. Let's go ahead and get this updated. Push the projections out to our premium subs. You don't get that kind of coverage anywhere else. Where else can you watch a live stream where one of the hosts updates the projections that go to the website? You can watch him do it, watch the process behind it, and then go grab them. I don't know. That could be somewhere else. I have no idea. It's not like I would watch somebody else's show. It's the only place you need to be. Kells in Premium Slack asks, is Lou playing? That's one I'm fairly confident he's just not playing. It seems like a weird time to rush him back. Alrighty, let's bury Justice Winslow. Let's shrink this. Go to Miami. You been out lately? I feel like Justice Winslow misses so much time, yet he hasn't been out in 30 days at least. Craziness. Joseph Barlupo. Josh hates the pores. That is not true whatsoever. All right, so Tyler Johnson is going to need to play relatively big minutes. Let's put him at 30 to start. I have a very difficult time seeing Dwayne Wade not play at least 26 minutes. Derek Jones probably soaks up most of the rest of this, so let's get him to 22 to start. And I've still got 7 more minutes to play with. Greg, the dogs are fantastic. You can't see it right now, but Riggs and Dingo both went to daycare today. Riggs is passed out on the couch behind my desk. The real question is, did you match the shirt and the cap? Almost every day. That is an active decision for me. Yes, I did. I just have I've just got like stacks of hats here. There's more further away. Just keep them all right next to me. Look down, figure out which one goes with the shirt, and then I pop it back on. That's I shouldn't be as proud of that as I am. All right, well, Josh Richardson can easily get to 36 minutes there, so we want to give him that. We got to delegate 6 more minutes. I doubt they dust off Udonis Haslem. Screen dimmer coming on. We're going to need another hour. Thoughts on a Rocket stack? It's all in play, man. It's all in play. When you're making lineups on a slate like today, you want to make it like you're filling out one of those choose your own adventure books, but you're literally choosing the entire adventure. So pick your spot, then figure out what that piece of information tells you, and go on to the next spot and the next spot and the next spot. If you want to stack Houston, but understand what stacking Houston means to the rest of your lineup. Derek Jones gone over 25 plus over the past 5 games with under 30 minutes in every single one. Yeah, he's starting to look like a pretty tasty play. I'm thinking 24 is looking a little bit more realistic there. I probably need to go to 26 on Magruder. That gives me 3 left. Yeah, it might have... Ooh, I don't know. Tricky. They're just so balanced. They have all of like... it's not the same player, but it's all the same like logic on this team. They play everybody in like 5 different positions. Put James Johnson at the point for half of this shit if they wanted to. Oh. Is Wayne active? That seems relevant, and I haven't really thought about it. He is active. Man, how healthy is Dwayne Wade? He hasn't played in a while. How do I feel about bank fraud? Oh God, what in the world are you talking about? Yeah, now I'm starting to... I don't get the sense that Wayne's going to get any serious minutes, but you never really know how that crap is going to break down. I think I'm pretty comfortable here. I don't have anybody that I really want to boost up all that much further. So I'm going to let those 3 minutes fly. Feel free to bump up anybody individually. Mike check GW. Can you explain why FanDuel has 160,000 person NBA shot tonight? I've been collecting tickets to this shit slate for months without realizing it's only 2 games. Well, tickets are tickets and all. But I hear you, man. It doesn't make it as fun to play. It doesn't make it any different. It just doesn't make it as fun. Michael Jackson. Josh, you still work for FanDuel. I've never worked for FanDuel in my entire life. I've worked for 4 companies in the past decade. Credit union, a pharmaceutical research company, a university, and Osimo.com. All right, my update is in for the premium folks. I'm going to have to recrunch and check this out. Aaron W. just got here. What do you think about Jordan? In or out? I am operating as if DeAndre Jordan is playing. In terms of being like a health whisperer for the DFS industry, it appears that I am not very good at that particular piece of my job. So, if you want to take this is perfect. In my recent prognostications of injuries, I've been shit. Our chats generally get filled with constant recency bias, so most of you should be confident that I'm going to screw this up. Makad, I gotcha. Totally forgot I answered that question before. I did see a lot of FanDuel guys this past weekend. I think I'd fit right in, but I prefer my current lot in life by a great margin. I don't really have a ton of interest doing anything else. All right, so Paul, Tyler Johnson, Jalen Brunson. That's going to allow me to get a lot more Harden, I reckon. Everything is different now, man. Everything is different. Let's run a crunch. Let's check it all out. See if I could even run a crunch right now before making any tweaks. I saw Radnor Soccer will win the state title since Wilson. I did not go to Radnor. I went to Tamaqua, which is a school that no one should know. Let's have an auction. Auction something off. I don't have anything to auction off. Pearl Jam, Nirvana, or Alice in Chains? Pearl Jam. I guess. It's a weird question. Is Josh Gordon a fade? Yeah, he's probably not worth it today. Oh, man. I have nothing to auction off that anybody would want, I promise. Is Magruder a better play now? Yeah, I guess let's talk about the Heat specifically before we run any more crunches. So, to me, no real impact to Whiteside, Bam, or Kelly. Dwayne Wade. Tyler Johnson to me is the pretty clear best option on FanDuel at this point. He's 4,200, and he has to soak this up. After that, I think it's probably Dwayne Wade. So I would probably go Tyler Johnson. We're ignoring the bigs. Tyler Johnson, Dwayne Wade. And then you get into a case where Josh Richardson starts to feel like ridiculously safe because there aren't that many great options. Like Derek Jones is not cheap on FanDuel. He's 5,200. You get Tyler Johnson for a full $1,000 less. You get Dwayne Wade for $300 less. So while Derek Jones has been great, and in all honesty, I probably need to bump his projection a little bit. I'm probably underestimating him. Yeah, that's probably a little bit better, but still, it's not a spot I'm in love with. Jigglypuff, Tamaqua, PA, up near Hazleton. Yep. The Hazleton Mall was my stomping grounds as a youth. Again, not a great place. If I could keep up with chat right now, that'd be dope. Josh Richardson, my security blanket. That's a great way to put it. That's what he feels like. I feel like I never get Josh Richardson right on slates like this. When Miami starts dropping dudes and I start thinking like, oh, he's going to handle the ball more. I always feel like I get him on the night where he turns into a ghost. God, I can't even keep up. I'm trying though. Yeah, no word on DJ yet. I mean, I'd be shocked if we got that in the next 24 minutes. That does not strike me as the type of news that's going to trickle out at the 8 o'clock game. Old school Carmen Electra or Pam Anderson? Pam Anderson. That's not a question. They should put Pam Anderson on money for what she's done to this country. Oh, too many people going with Carmen Electra. Craziness. Prime Electra, it's not even close. Y'all are nuts. There we go. There's the comment. Be nice about it though, people. Nothing vulgar. Like this video, and when we are done, in the comment section, let me know who you want. Pam Anderson or Prime Carmen Electra. That I don't think that DeAndre Jordan news comes early at all. Leads to a person liking Pearl Jam over Nirvana. Just not for me. You play Even Flow, I'm going to sing that as best I can without knowing the words. Tyler Johnson or JJ Barea on FanDuel. I mean, if you're throwing out ownership, it's got to be JJ, or it's got to be Tyler Johnson. It's not, it just has to. Denzel, Brad Pitt, or Will Smith. Depends what I'm doing, I guess. Am I watching one of their movies, or is this the same sort of question as the Pam Anderson, Carmen Electra one? Kind of changes the outcome for me. Howard Stern or NBA DFS advice? Why can't we be both? Who starts if DJ is out? Is it a Dirk night tonight? No, it's not a Dirk night tonight. I mean, what's his price? I mean, it can be a Dirk night tonight on FanDuel if you want to punt the position. C. Tiddler 33 hit it on the nose, man. Would you put in a... Oh, this is a good question from Makad. Would you put in a rule for only one of Harden and Paul, or would you skip that tonight? No, I wouldn't put a rule in like that tonight at all. But like if I was going to take James Harden and Chris Paul, I would want to have a healthy amount of Miami on the other side, or at least Miami guys that you think will be around if they keep it close. I certainly do remember her being in chat. Thank you very much. How could you ever forget something like that? Ownership updates on Tyler Johnson. We do not have any ownership updates yet. Jalen Brunson, JJ Barea, or Tyler Johnson on FanDuel? It's Tyler Johnson. I mean, like Tyler Johnson is probably the best play at point guard now from a point per dollar perspective. He's $4,200. Tyler Johnson just opened up the door for you to be able to pay up a little bit more at another position. Who do I got for the NBA MVP so far this season? I don't pay attention to it. What are people's records? Because that matters more than anything. I don't know the actual order of the standings right now. I mean, it's probably Giannis. I don't know. Make a case for Giannis. Nico Polari says, you heard it here first. Wayne Ellington will break the slate tonight. He certainly could. I have a hard time just expecting him to get big minutes, but the Heat do weirder stuff than that. I mean, he should be like in a real rotation playing 20 minutes a game somewhere. Doncic over Harris in DK cash. Yeah, probably. In fact, yeah, for sure. Sorry, shouldn't even have said probably. Yeah, absolutely. Caddyshack or Slapshot? Caddyshack. Never saw Slapshot. Yeah, J Rich is fine. Like, I'll probably end up with a decent amount of him because the options are really, really limited at small forward. There's not that many places you can really go outside of J Rich, Gallo, and Barnes unless you're throwing the position away. So if you want to go to a Gerald Green and hope he gets hot, I think that's fine. Or House for that matter, although I prefer Gerald Green. But like, I don't really love Derek Jones at that price, and your only other option really is Dorian Finney-Smith. So Josh Richardson, I have a hard time saying Richardson quickly. Anyway, Pat Bev or Tyler Johnson DK cash. I mean, I would advocate to not play cash today. Would be my first tip. But let's see, PBev. Tyler Johnson, not particularly close. Do I think Whiteside should try to get out of Miami? Where would he be a good fit? In this league? Nowhere. Don't mistake fantasy skills for actual skills. Ownership updated. Josh about to run some crunches. What am I making on Christmas? We actually haven't decided yet. I have no idea. We usually do like a seafood feast on Christmas Eve. Christmas Day will probably be a little bit more low key. I kind of want to just make like, I don't know, like a lasagna bolognese or something like that. Something where I just want to eat it and then never get off the couch. Had no tie to Christmas whatsoever, though. All right. Ownership updated. Do I have updated rankings from the GOAT? Playing Harden and Paul is never a bad thing. Just play both. Yeah. Well, I don't advocate that all that much on a bigger slate. On a smaller slate, all bets are off. You're just looking for total points. Them hitting like a target score is a little bit less important. Tyler Johnson, looking like a pretty good value. Christmas seafood is an Italian thing? Yeah, news. I don't know. Christmas Eve dinner at my grandmother's house when I was a kid was just like a lot of poor Polish food, mushroom soup and stuff you would have ate if you had like $2 to prepare a meal for your family. So now we kind of ball out, which is fun. My parents will get here in 2 days. It'd be a good time. All right, guys, time to run a crunch, and I don't even have placeholders in right now, so let's get weird. Let's do this. I need to bump that up considerably. That's good, that's good, that's good. Who's getting that 3% right there? Wes Matthews. Nope, Luka. I gotta bump Luka manually. Luka Doncic, come on down. That should, yeah, let's give him. There we go. Refresh. One last projection update for my premium peeps. You could be premium as well. You could be getting these projections. Use the promo code LIVEBEFORELOCK. One big word. 7-day free trial. You can pick any package you want. You can even use Fantasy Cruncher with it. You just have to select Fantasy Cruncher when you pick your package. Do that. Anyone recommend eating the chalk and playing Harden? Yeah, most people. Most people are recommending that. That's why he's the chalk. Josh, what kind of computer or laptop is good for me to get instead of your phone? In 2018, the answer is basically anything. Whatever you can afford. You can get a perfectly acceptable laptop for like $300 now. Spencer Smith, Josh, you need a beer, bro. Josh had a few too many cocktails this past weekend and is taking a step away from alcohol for a bit. It's not so much that I'm Polish, it's that I have got a lot of ancestry in that general area. A lot of Slovakian descent, a lot of Polish descent, a lot of that whole area. When I did 23andMe, it wasn't very broad. Very concentrated. They were like, hey, we think everyone you know came on the exact same boat. Cornell, that's because the coffee was good every day, my man. Was good every day. I've got really bad vocal fry, too, from yelling all weekend. All right, let's get a real crunch in here. We'll start figuring out what we want to do. I'm having a lot of trouble not getting a ton. Tyler Johnson. Let's figure this out. I need to bump that up. There's that vocal fry again. Tyler Johnson, much better off the bench, more usage, yeah. But, 4,200 on FanDuel is going to get you there. DK, it's a different question. He's more expensive, but, there's value is limited on today's slate. He's basically the only place you can find it. Shit. This feels like one of those days where I don't actually get my lineups in. Attaboy, Donald. Oh, the puppy dog's stretching himself out on the couch right now. There we go. I'm getting the crunch in now. I wanted to circle back to that, Josh, your Polish question from our premium Slack. I have never had borscht, but I also would never walk down that road. Cold tomato sounds really gross to me. Rather have SGA than Tyler Johnson. Really? Wait. You meant, Ted, I think you meant to say DK and not FK there. I read that as FanDuel. Yeah, I would probably rather go to Gilgeous-Alexander as well on DraftKings. On FanDuel, though, it's a no-brainer. 5,600 to 4,200. Skyline chili or Chipotle? Never had Skyline chili. If DJ is out, will Powell pick up the minutes? He's going to have to pick up some, that's for sure. Stacey Dash all day. Genius. Stacey Dash. Most of these girls don't have a clue. All right. It's probably in my best interest to put 9 lineups in right now. So let's do that. FK is Fan Kings. Fantastic. I could appreciate that one. Alrighty. Let's get this in here. And then grab this guy. There we go. Close this. Anyone on Gortat? I mean, he's fine if you're trying to get cute at center, but I mean, he is very clearly near the bottom of it all. Do I ever come to Raleigh? Yeah, pretty regularly. My father-in-law lives in Clayton. Wife grew up in the Raleigh area her entire life. In and out or Five Guys? In and out. That one's not close for me. Not to say that I don't love a Five Guys burger, because they are delicious. However, we're being honest here. There's a real answer to this. Alrighty. Let us get 9 lineups. Alright, that's twice now. Got about enough of this. Call Jerry Jones and tell him to start Van Der Esch? I generally prefer when the Cowboys lose, so. Hi, Dad, in case you're listening. I don't know why Open Solver is not staying in my sheet. There we go. Now we're back, and boop. There we go. Alrighty, let's get these lineups in now. How accurate are ownership projections? That's a weird, that's kind of a difficult question to just answer. They are the basis of everything that I do, and I use our ownership projections religiously. So the best that I can say is that they are the most important thing to me. They dictate everything that I do personally. So, all right, let's go ahead and get these placeholders in. That way I don't have a panic attack in 7 minutes. Everybody's so confident to fade someone. I love it sometimes. All right, there we go. Real lineups are in. Let's think about it here. That's too much Tyler Johnson. He's not supposed to be in that many lineups. Apparently, I'm rounding up and not down. Much better. Fernando Gomes. There you go. Awesome Mo projections equals more than worth the price of admission. That's what I'm looking for. And you know what? The price of admission is free if you want it to be. All you got to do is use the promo code live before lock. And then your price of admission is not going to cost you $1. Or you could like this video, comment afterwards, whether you are a Pam Anderson or Carmen Electra guy, and you can get a 1 month free trial. Just because it's the holidays and we're giving away gifts for 24 days. Or you can possibly win a free year to check out said ownership projections. You can't beat it. An offer you can't shake a stick at. I think that's terminology. That can't be a real statement. Kyle Tracy, you tripping? Brandon Knight starting. Get out of here with that. I added that extra column. That's why it's sorting stupid. Gotta fix that. Get on out of there. There we go. There we go. If I win the FanDuel tourney, I max entered. Josh, we're going to Five Guys and buying $150K in burgers. What's that bit that Dave Chappelle had in his most recent sketch? After he got booed, he said he went and bought like 75 grand worth of bubble gum and handed it out to homeless people. It's hilarious. Do FanDuel use bots? What are bots? You know this isn't poker, right? There's no bot anymore. You don't have to run scripts to enter your lineups. Not sure what you mean by bot. Josh Winslow is out. Well aware. Well aware. I really wish this gap in games was not 2.5 hours, because I will have no idea if I even know. I'll have no idea how I did. I probably won't even know if DeAndre Jordan ends up out. That's the worst part of all of this. Is Fantasy Cruncher definitely worth buying? If you are someone that plays a lot of lineups, let's say, I'll say 10 or more. I mean, I like it just in general. I'm obviously biased. It is a no-brainer. It is the tool that makes everything easier. It is the tool that essentially every single pro that has no tie to a different site is using. It's just how it works. Show us your 9 after lock. Oh, I'll show you it now. That's the whole point of this. I've been watching this shit the entire time. A lot of Jay Rich, a lot of Harrison Barnes, a lot of Gallo. Only 3 guys that I'm running at small forward. A lot of Chris Paul, a lot of Tyler Johnson. Random one-offs there. Harden, Wade, Luka, Wes, Kelly O, Tobias Harris, Montrezl Harrell, Bam, Dwight Powell, DeAndre, Capella. That's where I'm at. Pretty aggressive, I think. Nobody crazy. I have a pretty tight core on a 2-game slate because what are your choices? SGA, Tyler Johnson, Jay Rich, Barnes, Harrell, Harden, West, and Kelly. Oh, what up, Steven? 7:59. Guys, if you don't have your lineups in, speaking from experience, you've got 15 seconds. It's probably not going in for you. All the original Josh Solo live stream OGs know what that's like if you try to play on a day where you didn't really want to do it. and you say, hey, chat, I'm going to play 20 lineups on DraftKings tonight, and then you don't enter in anything. I've had Fantasy Cruncher for, I don't know, 4+ years, I think. 4, maybe slightly less. Basically, since it started. Miles, here's the irony in that quote of the year. I don't have a tight core. I've got a doughy, soft core. Because in lieu of working out, I sit at my desk. I look at fantasy spreadsheets all day. I talk to the rest of my lovely degenerates in our premium Slack channel, which, even ignoring Osimo's rankings, ownership projections, my projections, Hot Magic Andrew Barron's projections, articles from Laffy, articles from Adam, everybody that's doing stuff, every single person that touches stuff, Spags, Fast Eddie, Ben, the whole site, Stratford on the Night Show, EMAC. You're getting a ton of stuff. Not to mention, we're all in Slack, just hanging out all day. Can't beat it. Adam, I know you're not listening to this, but I know your pain there. Is the spreadsheet I'm streaming Fantasy Cruncher? No, this is my own personal spreadsheet. This is Fantasy Cruncher. Fantasy Cruncher is an optimizer. Input your projections and basically whatever else you would like to input. It will optimize and generate lineups for you, which you can then upload to your favorite website. Guys, I think that's it. I'm going to get out of here. I've been talking for an hour. Best of luck to everybody. Happy you joined me. We got over 1,000 on this regular rando 2-game slate. It's nuts. Cole Weezy, if you can hear me right now, how long is the promo code good for? You're good till tomorrow, I promise you. Live before lock is the promo code. Hit the like button. Comment after the video. Who do you prefer, Pam Anderson or Carmen Electra? I love everybody. Best of luck. I hope y'all finish second to me. Peace.